Thank you, Sarah. I am unmuted. Everyone can hear me. Yes, perfect. So thank you all for joining us on a Sunday or a Friday afternoon, wherever you are. I know it's, well, here in New Zealand in the Hawke's Bay, it's an absolute beautiful Saturday morning. And so I appreciate you joining us. So I'm a practicing chiropractor, and one of the biggest things that I get asked in practice this time of year is, what do I need to take and what do I need to do to stay well? And how do we actually know what it is that we're taking is working? And I basically put this together. The short answer is that we use activation. And the beauty of activation is that you can just trust that what you're doing is working without having to worry about absorption and all the other complications that come with supplementing. But first of all, we'll just go through a few things around the immune system and how we can actually activate our wellness over this winter after being stuck in our little bubbles for the last 2 years. So I cannot change this slide.
Oh, it doesn't let you? Shoot.
There we go.
Okay, I'll do my best to keep up with you.
Okay. All right, so before we talk about immune system, I see immunity as just a side factor of how our health is going overall. So if our health is good and we're actually functioning well, then our good immunity is just a side effect of that. And so good health basically to me means that our cells are working properly, our cells have enough energy to work properly, and our gut is healthy enough to help to modulate our immune system and to coordinate everything with our brain, because our gut really is like our second brain. And sorry, Sarah. And when this doesn't work, then we start to feel symptoms. And we start to feel things like tiredness, we get chronic health issues, we can have a wired brain, digestive issues, frequent infections, so that lowered immunity, and our whole system just starts to feel really stressed out. And so when it comes to immunity, like I said, it really is just an indication of our overall health. And it's not necessarily avoiding sickness, because we do want to have some exposure to germs. It's about how well our body can actually ward off that infection without lingering side effects. And the key with this is we want to be focusing on strengthening our immune system, not so much boosting our immune system. So that's where a lot of the marketing comes in. We get a lot of false marketing messages. Everything is focused on boosting up our immune system. But the thing is that our immune system can actually fatigue. So we don't want it to be boosted all of the time. Otherwise, when we do get exposed to something, if it has been boosted and in this state of heightened vigilance, then it's not going to be able to respond to whatever it is that we've been exposed to. So we really want to strengthen it as opposed to boosting it long term. So we've got 3 parts of the immune system. I'll quickly run over them. We have the innate immune system, which is the real kind of basic part that we're all born with. Our adaptive immune system, that's what we get when we're actually exposed to things. That's why we want to be exposed to things. And we have our barrier immune system, which people often forget about. And that is literally a barrier. So it's our skin. But the part that we often forget about is it's actually our gastrointestinal system as well. So that lining should be really closed off. It should form a really tight junction. And it's when these cells start to get leaky or inflamed that we can get an issue with our immune system. And that's why gut health is so important for immunity as well. So things that decrease our immune system, we have obviously stress, sugar, things like inflammation, our exposure to toxins, gut inflammation, like I said, so having a leaky gut. But really, it's just the overall load on our system. And when that load is too much for us to handle, then we're going to express symptoms. And usually that can mean that decrease in our immunity or sickness. So stress, touching on that briefly, a lot of us are aware of the 3, like physical, chemical, and emotional stress. But the thing that a lot of people forget about is oxidative stress and cellular stress. And that's what we're going to talk about here, because this is really what activation really addresses. It actually looks at not just the effects of like the physical, chemical, emotional stresses on our system, but that getting to that actual cellular layer, which is really where things actually, that's the foundation. So if we don't have that foundation, then everything else is going to be shaky from there. So oxidative stress, if you've heard of it before, it's basically a side effect of living. It happens when we breathe in air, when we eat food. It's just a normal side effect. There's no way we can avoid it. But over time, it can accumulate. And if we can't actually combat it, then it can damage our cells, it can damage our DNA, it can damage our body, and it can leave us tired and feeling stressed and unfocused, lacking in energy, and prone to sickness or being run down. And it really does impact every organ system of the body. So it impacts our brain, it impacts our skin, which I mentioned was the barrier system of the immune system. It impacts our heart, it impacts our gut, which is again that barrier system, changing our microbiome. It does directly impact our immune system. It impacts so it increases cortisol, which is our stress hormone. So it's going to affect our stress response overall. And all of that is going to have an impact on how our immune system is functioning. I'll skip over this really quickly. This is just, yeah, thank you. I just basically wanted to, I'll just touch on it. It's when we talk about oxidative stress and how, it's a normal part of our body, then why is it such a bad thing? And really the whole thing is that we just have so much more exposure to toxins these days. So modern day, we're just exposed to so much more than we were 100 years ago. And there's just no way that we can fully tackle it just through diet alone. Yeah, I'll skip over this as well. If you want to go to PubMed, you can type in oxidative stress. You can see all of the impacts that it has on all of these different systems. But the main thing that I want to talk about is how we can actually lower it and how we can address it. And so that is where we start talking about NRF2 activation. So this is a pathway that we all have in every cell. And when we turn that on, then we can actually, our body starts addressing oxidative stress in a way that supplementation just can't. So when we're talking about immunity, so one of the big things that we're told to take is like high dose vitamin C. The vitamin C is just an antioxidant. And the reason why we have to take it in such high dose is because it's a direct antioxidant. So it works on a ratio of 1:1. So you have one molecule, it mitigates one free radical. And there's just no way that that is going to effectively address oxidative stress and what we're actually exposed to. And so by turning on this NRF2 pathway, the ratio goes up to 1,000,000 to 1, which is obviously a much more efficient way of addressing it. The next one. So this is where we start talking about this activation over supplementation. So when we take dietary antioxidants, they just do not make an impact on oxidative stress. So you can either take a pill like a supplement, and you really are relying on your body to absorb it, to be able to assimilate it properly. And for it also, because we have to usually take it in such high amounts, then we need to be making sure it's not, well, relying on the fact that it's not interacting with any other processes in the body. Or we can actually activate our body to switch on these pathways so that it's making its own antioxidants, and we're not having to deal with the side effects that we get from these high dose supplementation. So until LifeVantage, there was no solution to effectively lower oxidative stress. There is no amount of fruit or veggies or lotions or potions that you can take that really does protect our bodies against this assault of free radical damage. And let's go to the next. Yeah, so this is what we take. So protandem NRF2, it stimulates the antioxidant production in your body, and you can see that it's 5 herbs, it's natural, but it's a case of the whole being greater than the sum of its parts. And so most of us will, well, I was anyway, before I started on this, taking these in their individual forms. but it's actually the fact this can be low dose and in a specific ratio that it's going to switch on this pathway, which means we're not going to be getting the side effects that we get from high dose supplementation. And we actually know that this works 100% of the time in 100% of people. So it's been proven in the USA to reduce that oxidative stress by 40% within 30 days because it's stimulating your body to produce its own antioxidant. And the other thing we hear a lot about in terms of boosting our immune system is NAC. And so NAC is a precursor to glutathione, and glutathione is the body's master antioxidant. So again, all of these immune things we're taking are really just antioxidants in some form or another. And again, with taking NAC, we're having to rely on the body to be able to absorb and assimilate and actually turn that into glutathione. However, this NRF2, the protandem, has been shown to actually increase our body's production of glutathione naturally. So again, it just bypasses us having to actually assimilate and absorb something when our bodies can just make it itself. So after we've got our well-functioning cells as part of our little health puzzle, the next thing is we want to make sure that our cells actually have the energy to be well-functioning. And that is where we hear a lot about mitochondria. So if you haven't heard of these, they're little organelles in our cells. They are like the little battery packs of a cell, and they convert food energy into cellular energy. They're pretty important. They're really important for recovery and sustained energy. So these are, I think, are really key for that whole recovery process. So we're not wanting to hang out in sickness too long. We actually want our bodies to be able to fight it off quickly and then recover without those lingering side effects. And that's where mitochondrial support is really important. Thank you. And this is where this is the NRF1 activator. So this is giving us, like I said, the cellular energy. There's, again, just 5 low dose ingredients in it. Again, it's things that we've probably all been taking before, but the key is that these are a much lower dose, much easier for absorption and in the right ratios. So we're not having to rely again on absorption and assimilation and making sure we're taking them at the right time with the right things. We're getting all of the benefits, taking it all together and actually activating that pathway, as opposed to just supplementing and hoping for the best. And then we have our gut. So that's that barrier system that I was talking about. It's really important just for sealing off our, from the outside to the inside world. And it's also really important for modulating an immune response. And so these probiotics are, I think, a key for, most people take a probiotic in winter anyway. The difference between what most of us take, though, and these ones is that these ones don't get destroyed as much by our stomach acid. So they're actually designed to release, like with the time release technology. So they actually get the bacteria to where they need to go without being destroyed in the meantime. And I have access to all of the practitioner probiotics available. This has been the first one that I personally have really noticed a difference with. And I really do think that it's that time release that has made the biggest difference there. And I just wanted to touch one more. So if you're in Australia, this isn't available to you, but you can get it through the global purchase program. But this is my family's absolute go-to in terms of proactive immunity. So this is really focusing on that strengthening of the immune system and not boosting the immune system. So over time, when we take it specifically, this has actually been shown to support immune strength, so that when we do get into contact with something that is going to make us sick, our immune response can actually switch on really quickly and get us through it much faster. My whole family takes this, my kids take it as well. And we've been using this for the last 12 months. And pretty good for us. We have only been sick once with the thing that's been going around, but we all bounce back really quickly. And that's a huge improvement for us. So I really believe in this in regards to strengthening And it's not something we just do when winter comes around. It really is something that we need to be taking a sustainable and proactive um, approach to. I'm going to pass it over to Sarah, who has much more. She can talk a bit more about the global focus of the company and how everything works in together. So thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Kate. Hi, guys. You'll probably notice right away from my accent that I'm in the United States. So I love that we can convene here on Zoom, though, and I get to see all your lovely faces. So, like Kate said, my name's Sarah Harding. I'm one of the elite distributors in LifeVantage, and I came to the company because I heard the story of activation over supplementation. If you guys have been invited by someone that's wellness minded, I'm pretty sure you've tried a host of supplements, so you understand that our diets are important, and you understand that key supplementing can be beneficial, and it's superior, or it's healthier and more natural than pharmaceuticals. I'm not gonna say superior because some people still rely on medications, and that's perfectly fine. It's a great tool and we need it. But for me, I developed a chronic incurable disorder in 2014, and in 2017 I received a diagnosis that wasn't good. A lot of my symptoms were debilitating. I'm a homeschooling mom of 3 kids, and so passing out, vomiting, having fatigue where you have to take a nap 2 or 3 times a day, dizziness, poor vision, just all the things. It wasn't really sustainable for me. Sorry, there's people cleaning my kitchen. I hope that's not as loud to you as it is to me. But so I was going the functional integrative route, chiropractic care, acupuncture, you name it. If it was available to me, I was trying it to get better because I had to be able to take care of my kids. But I suffered from 2014 until the middle of 2018 before someone introduced me to the thought of activating pathways in the body. And I approached this as a skeptic, thinking that there was no way that a company like LifeVantage, a direct sales word of mouth marketing company, could have a product that was more superior than the entire dispensary of holistic products that my multiple doctors were trying to give me. But I was proven wrong, because within the first 30 days, my energy started improving, my dizziness started improving, and a lot of my other symptoms did as well. So I'm sitting here since 2018, it's now 2022, and I have been symptom free from a chronic incurable illness for 4 years. So obviously it didn't cure me, because we could never say that something natural could cure us of anything, but I haven't had a symptom in 4 years. So when that happened, I felt pretty obligated to tell other people about this information. I know that happened to Kate too, and probably whoever invited you to hear this information, because once you understand that those pathways are already in our bodies, and if you just use the right combination of herbs in a really small amount, you activate them and it creates a profound response in the body that's far superior to supplementation. Well, how could you not go around telling other people? So that's what I did. And I've been with LifeVantage as a distributor for 4 years, and I am part of this global team, which is really amazing. And I love that we have products in all the categories for solutions. Now, not every single product you see here is available in every single country, but we are working on it. And I just want to tell you a little bit about, who we are, what we stand for, and things like that. So our products solve problems. It's all based around the thought of activating instead of supplementing. Everything's sustainable in their sourcing. We use thoughtful packaging. We don't use animal testing, and there's no chemicals like preservatives, fake sweeteners, GMOs, all that stuff. Not to mention, everything we sell and provide to you is backed by science, and it's also made to work in synergy. So that daily wellness, when you read the ingredients label, you're going to think that it's not enough of anything to make a difference. But that thought of synergy is so much more powerful than taking high doses of anything. And then our products are synergized to work together. Now, this is a funny thing to be talking about because you guys aren't in the United States, but I'm just going to tell you anyway. So when this product was first made in a lab, it was made by the scientists who discovered SOD, which is superoxide dismutase. It's one of our main antioxidants. You can look it up. It's not a sci-fi term. So he discovered that antioxidant, and then he wanted to figure out how he could make it where the body produced more. When he discovered a way to do it, which was with protanum NRF2 activation, it sounded like a funny little claim to say, hey, I can reduce oxidative stress. I think he actually said slow aging, but we can't really talk about that because that's a big claim to make. And it got the attention of ABC Primetime, which is a main television news station in the United States. And they went in to try to make a fool of this product, to try to say that this claim was fake and, just expose it on national TV. But instead what happened was that investigator, John Quinones, he's a television reporter, they made him take his blood, take the product, and then take his blood again in 7 days. And on national television, they said that his blood was indistinguishable of that of a newborn baby. So his oxidative stress was significantly reduced in only 7 days. That made this product soar through the roof in the United States. And then we've become a global company now. So when you're looking at your health goals, we can help customize a stack. So Kate talked about her favorite one for her family, and whoever invited you here can help connect you with Kate or myself or someone else who's a product expert who can help you decide what products are available to you that will help you solve whatever problems you have or whatever goals you have. And there are 2 ways to get started. You can I would hope that Kate and I have shown you that this is a great asset for you, not just this winter, but all year round, to keep yourself healthy and well and just improve aging. So you can become a customer, and you'll have an opportunity to have a referral link to give your friends a discount, and you'll get a credit to your next order. Or you can do what Kate and I did. You can decide to become a distributor, because you can create a leveraged side income while sharing this information with other people, or having Kate and I share the information for you, because you really don't have to know a lot about anything when you first get started. You just have to know that people need to know that activation is an opportunity for us to improve our wellness. And everything that we provide for you when you become a distributor, well, we provide everything, not everything that you provide. So it's your website, it's customer service. You don't house the products in your home. And something that's very important to you, because most of you are probably not in the United States, if we ship products in your country, it means that we have a presence in your country. So the products are there. And so when you or your customer goes to place an order, that product is shipping from a warehouse or a distribution center inside your country. There are a few exceptions to that, which we have the global purchase program, where you can buy a product that's not available in your country directly in the United States. So we have that program for the extra products, but our core products are available inside your country. So the duties and all the things that you have to deal with, you don't have to do with that for our core activators in your country, which I think is important. But here's the cool part. With a quick flip of a flag on your website, you can share the website to anyone in any other country. So you don't have to only have customers within your own country. And that's how I met Kate. So let's talk a little bit about the company, though. We're actually going on almost 14 years old, so we'll have to update that. But we're located in Utah in the United States, which is where I live now. And it's publicly traded, so we have a lot of checks and balances where we have to report to people, and we have to disclose all of our financials. And we're also debt-free with a lot of money in the bank. You guys might not recognize Erin Brockovich, but if you Google her, she was in a movie. The real Erin Brockovich was. It was actually Julia Roberts who played her. She's a public health advocate. I think it's important that she's on here because she specifically asked to be a part of this company, and they put her on the board because she cares about public health. She heard about the products. One of her colleagues was using them, and he had so much energy that she wanted the products, and then she wanted to get involved with getting this information out to other people. So I think that's kind of a cool thing that a celebrity who makes huge movements in the United States she asked to be part of this in any way, shape, or form. So for me personally, I didn't know anything about direct sales or network marketing. And if you'd said that this was sales, I don't feel like it's sales. I feel like it's putting people in front of information and answering questions. So I never saw myself making this into a full-time business, but I felt obligated to tell people about activation. So what I did was I set out to just share this video that we have, or a presentation like what we're doing here, with at least 100 people. And then I was gonna quit and walk away. But what ended up happening was I became an Elite Pro 7 in 15 months. So if you look at the gold Elite Pro 7, you look at the highlighted $13,402, and that's United States dollars, a month is my residual paycheck. If you told me that was gonna happen, I would have laughed at you, because I had only heard that you couldn't make money in direct sales, especially when I didn't know what I was doing. I was just telling people about activation versus supplementation. So it's definitely possible. You can make a little or you can make a lot. And what I love about this opportunity is that we don't recruit and we don't do sales. We really just expose people to information that will help benefit their lives. And I feel really good about it. And I just have to tell you a personal story that I was able to fund the moving of my children, I have 3 girls, from across the country to my dream state, in my dream town, in my dream house, and get a divorce because I was completely financially secure because of this opportunity. Plus, I have my health back. So it's a really neat thing, and our community has a lot to do with it. The people that we work with and the support that you get as well. So how do you get started if you want to share with other people? You can start with a New Zealand Gold Pack, an Australia Gold Pack, or a US Elite Pack. There are lots of options to get started, so I would love to reach out to you if you want to talk on a Zoom. We can go through the options for you specifically with your goals and figure out what's the best fit for you. These are not required. They are also not monthly. I know a lot of people think they're monthly. This is just to get started, and it comes with your entire access to everything that you get as a distributor. And so with that being said, I'll stop sharing my screen, and thank you so much for spending some time with me in your morning, my evening, and I hope to see you on a Zoom. If you guys have questions, just reach out to the person who invited you and set that up, and I'll be happy to do it. And Kate, I don't know if you have anything to close with, but that's it for me.